Hey everyone, I am going to make a video about personal branding. I am trying to figure this out, and so this will be kind of a journey, and hopefully as I go along this path, this is helpful. My plan is to basically post every week what things are working, what things are not working, and then if somebody's able to, if people that are much better at this stuff than I am can post and help me learn, I would love to see how to build a better personal brand. And yeah, it'll be an interesting journey and kind of experiment anyway. So I figure I'll just do this in public, and maybe it'll be interesting, and I'm sure I'll laugh about all the mistakes I make down the road. So why I want to do this is it is so apparent to me that over the next 5-10 years, even longer, the most important thing that I can do to bring value into the world with my skills as a developer and engineer and just builder is making myself known and doing that in an authentic way, so that people, you guys, everybody just feels like they know me, and that I have, maybe hopefully some useful stuff and perspectives to put into the world. And if I neglect this on the flip side, which I have done to date, as you'll see in my following numbers, then my impact will be severely limited. And this is not something that I'm going to accept. So I'm jumping in, and I'm going to make all the mistakes you possibly can, but I'll do my best to learn from them and put them out there in the world. So the why behind this is to be able to maximize impact. And that is really this for me is going to be a long-term journey. And so I just say I'm going to just attempt this now, and however long it takes, and ready to just try and learn. But I know that if I don't do this, it's going to be a real, I will limit my impact severely, and that's, like I said, unacceptable. And I've done that for a long time. So it's time for a change. So goals for this is that I present myself authentically. And so I'm not actually going to have goals around right now in terms of, following counts and social media presence and all that stuff. I think I'm just too early on. I don't know what works, what doesn't work. And I don't want to put in, I guess I could have some like numerical goals, but I think I'd just be kidding myself. And so what I'm trying to do right now is just come up with a good framework that works for me to be able to present authentic content. So the goal here is every piece of content is just trying to, I want people, if I post for, a few months, for people to basically come back and to be able to describe who I am, and that to be pretty representative of who I actually am. And so I think that's kind of a long-term thing. I think if I go down the road of trying to be somebody I'm not online, then it's just going to end up being a disaster. And so I just want people to, like I listen to podcasts or whatever, I'm like, I feel like I know that person, and that's basically the sole goal here. And again, my niche is going to be AI content. I'm technical, but I can speak to people who are non-technical, and so that's kind of my perspective. So that's basically it. And the other goal here is going to be one piece of content across the social media platform per day. I'm trying to make this a non-negotiable. And so the framework here, and this is something I've kind of not borrowed, but I was reading Alex Hormozi's $1 Million Leads, and they recommended, I think this is like the right framework, is give until they ask. And so all of my content is going to be, ideally, is basically just, and if I can get an email address or a contact, set up a phone call, that's great. And just try and just provide value, as much value as I can. And that'll also help me learn basically like what things I can make that are resonating with people. And I think and I know that comes from, Gary Vee's jab, right hook. And so that's kind of the framework, is going to be give. I'm going to try and go with basically, I know I said one piece of content per day, and we're going to do Loom videos, even though they're not great, and I'm sure lots of people complained. They are low effort, and right now, my kind of philosophy on this is I won't overthink it. And using Loom videos helps me basically not worry about the production. It's just a lower barrier to entry. At some point I will step up. And the other kind of thing here that I think is important and helpful, and this is a general kind of rule that has been helpful for me, is that at the beginning, volume is actually better than quality. Low quality, because through volume, let me rephrase this. Through high volume, I will learn quality. And I don't know any other, maybe some people out there have this intuitive instinct on how to do this. I certainly don't. And so being able to put out what I will do is high volume. So again, and for some people, they'll say 1x per day, not enough. But for me, that is for going from 0, that's where I'm going to start with. So 1x per day and high volume. I will learn how to do quality, and then I will end up in a place, hopefully, I would say next 60 to 90 days with high volume and high quality. And let's see if I can bring this down. And I will be posting, again, I'm gonna be pretty transparent about this. Hopefully it's just an interesting journey. Maybe it'll help me kind of, put my own thoughts together, but I will just be putting this stuff up every week to see what worked, what didn't, and go from there. And so I would imagine most of my audience here has better, has a larger following than I do. So if you're wondering if you should, jump in and create content, or you're thinking about it, you probably are not. You're probably at a higher, kind of a better starting spot than even I am. So 5 whole followers on Twitter. I think I've got 700 connections on LinkedIn. That's definitely my biggest, and a whole 7 subscribers on YouTube. Appreciate it. I think 4 of which are basically my wife's family here. So yeah, this will be a great, hopefully a great story as I am able to pull this off. And the reason I'm starting with these ones again is because I think that I can use the same piece of content, not overthink it, and be able to easily kind of repurpose it across all 3. And my audience for AI business leaders, kind of in a more professional setting will be most useful across these 3 things. And then also what I'm building now with vnow.dev and other things, they're easy to show off on videos, and it's more compelling and with kind of imagery and videos. And so I think that's the way to go. And then I will always add down resources. So I'm going to add in basically as every week, take a snapshot of the count, what works, what's not. Learning for this week, the biggest learning is just jumping in was helpful. I just decided to just make a few posts, and I've already had some engagement. It was surprising to me. I did not expect it. Expected 0 responses, and ended up with more than that. And so anybody kind of sitting on the sidelines, for me, I'm like, oh, this was so obvious. I should have just done this 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't know why it took so long, but here we are. So moving forward from here. And then what I'll do here is, this is for me to understand how to make good content, useful content, high value stuff that is a good framework for myself. And then when I'm able to, then I will move into newsletters. I'll start digital on Beehive. And quickly after that, I want to add in physical newsletter. And I know that's, it's expensive, but I really want to, in a world that is all digital, getting something physical in the mail that I could include a handwritten note or something like that, I think is going to be a very useful, kind of unique thing. And so that's just something I'm just budgeting for and saying, I just want to do it. I don't care how much it costs. I just want to be able for people to receive a piece of mail with my name on it, and hopefully they'll read it and it'll be valuable. And these are things that, again, I plan on just sending to people for like 20 years. So, whatever. I just think it's cool in an age where everything is becoming more digital, and especially with AI, people are going to be saturated with content. I think it'll be a really great way to break through and receive, some physical, something totally different. And then I've been reading Alex's books, highly recommend them, and learning a lot from them. And a lot of the stuff is, do 100 actions is basically the takeaways. Don't seek advice until you make 100 actions on your own, and then go from there. So that's where I'm at. I have a whole, my, following count is, I think, is less than 800 combined here, and that's including LinkedIn, which is, I'm sure all those people aren't 100% engaged, but whatever. And we're starting, and then we'll take it from there. So every week I'll post this and what I learned, and it'll be quick. And so, yeah, please comment, post if there are things that you guys are seeing that is like, these are just mistakes that I could avoid. And I'll try and do the same things that over this kind of journey here, some of these videos will hopefully be helpful about like how to do this and how not to do this. So appreciate it. And I'll make this stuff public as well. I'll probably post links to the either Figma board or Notion template. Once I actually know what I'm doing, then I'll post this stuff out so that people can take a look. Thanks.